So I was able to get all of these results by keeping carbs nice and motherfucking high. In fact, we were able to get people peeled to the bone by keeping carbs as high as humanly possible. I can appreciate that carbs get a bit of a bad rap. People will tell you that you carb crash. People will tell you it makes you sleepy. People tell you it makes you retarded. People tell you it spikes your insulin, and then that's why people are fat. Honestly, most people just chat a load of shit, to tell you the truth. I've tried carbs and used them for all of these results, and I've found great results off the back of carbs. So I'm just going to explain why I got good results from it. What carbs to not eat. Do not take the piss. I'm telling you to eat carbs. I'm not telling you to eat bullshit. So let's roll in. Why carbs are great. Carbs drive performance in the gym. In case you didn't realize, we're here to develop muscle tissue and to drop off body fat. That is the art of body recomposition. That is the bread and butter and the backbone of this channel. So if we cannot drive performance in the gym, what are we doing here? We're essentially just going to become a smaller version of ourselves, and we're just going to become softer and skinnier. That's not what you came here to do. You came here to drop body fat. So you came here to train as hard as you can. Carbs are going to assist in that. Carbs are also going to keep muscles fuller. Now, let's go the absolute other end of the spectrum. Let's say you pulled all carbs out of the diet. For the first week, you'd be like, this is fucking great. I've dropped loads of weight. Yeah, you drop water weight, you drop like some inflammation, and you pulled out some glycogen out of the muscle. Great. And you'll probably be all right for the first week. Second week, so yeah, energy's a little bit low and feel a little bit small. And then third week, oh fuck, I feel so skinny. I don't know what the fuck's happened to me. It's not that you're skinny. It's just you've got no glycogen left inside the muscle. The muscle is just flat as a pancake, and your training sessions are whack. So you're just absolutely hating your life on no carbs anyway. And muscle fullness, when you're walking around, you get a pump. You enjoy the sessions more. You feel better about yourself. When you get leaner and you keep carbs high, your muscle's still full, and it's veiny, and it looks fucking class. So it makes you adhere to the process a lot more. There's so much to be had for someone that likes going to the gym for keeping muscles full. I can't stress that enough. When I'm full, I feel like a different human being to when I'm flat. And if you didn't know about the difference between full or flat, you'll think some days look skinny, some days will look good. It's just how much carbs and water you've got inside the muscle. People think, oh, I've lost loads of muscle. You haven't. You're just flat. As soon as you run a high carb day, you'll be back full again. Why I've put it's more sustainable is you're going to be more adherent to something if you have more energy, if you enjoy the process. If you pull all the carbs out, I tell you now, it'll only be a few weeks until you are hating your life. You'll be hungry, you'll be flat, your performance will be whack in the gym, and you think, oh, I don't know why people cut. How does this motherfucker get abs? Oh, he's not had a carb in fucking 3 years. Honestly, it's just not the way to go. I find it's much more sustainable to keep carbs as high as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. Because again, carbs drive performance in the gym. The biggest reason you will build muscle or retain it is through gym floor performance, training stimulus. Remember that. Your body is a direct reflection of the amount of stimulus you have put on it. No different. This is not the amount of protein you eat. That's not going to keep muscle on the bones. Training stimulus is the most important factor, because back in the day, they didn't know about macros and protein, all this sort of shit. They just carried the heavy load, this is centuries ago, from A to B. As a result of doing that, the body thought, oh God, this is fucking hard and heavy, so I'll adapt. So next time I do it, moving that stimulus from A to B is not going to be as bad. And that's how they got stronger. That's where progressive overload was formed. It weren't formed out of some science nerd going, you need to add 2 pounds to the bar every week to get bigger. No, it was just found by like, oh, I moved this thing, and then next week I had to move this heavier thing, and then my body adapted, and then I grew. And people like to over fucking complicate things. You've just got to think, I always need to make sure I'm applying progressive overload during my sessions. What's going to make sure I do that? Energy. How do I get energy? I eat carbohydrates. Therefore, I can still make progress. Now remember, you just need to be in a calorie deficit so you can drop off body fat. I am also in the camp, not only keeping carbs high, I'm in the camp of keeping food high for as long as humanly possible. Because a lot of you motherfuckers have put your metabolism in the bin. I'm saying you've eaten garbage food, low amounts of it, you've got low muscle mass and high body fat. Metabolism in the bin. How do you get metabolism out the bin? You get it eating a good amount of food, but you get it burning a good amount of energy as well. High energy output, and then a good amount of food as well. And that way you're able to bring up the metabolism line. I made a video, probably about 5 back now, you can go and watch it, where it's a guy's essentially 6 months in, started 35% body fat, now sat around like 13 or so, but we managed to go from 1,600 calories at the depths of his cut all the way up to 2,400 just a month later. And he's holding scale weight. That's a sign of someone's metabolism getting in a much, much better space. That's what we want to do for you. That's why we want to keep food higher. So we must drive output instead. Start with cardio. Keep your food just below maintenance or at maintenance when you start off. Push your output. 20 minutes of cardio per day, 10,000 steps. When the scale weight doesn't start to drop anymore, add to 30 minutes a day. Rinse, repeat until your cardio is so high that it's like it'll encroach on routine now. Let's just stick with this, or push the intensity of the thing up. And then get yourself dropping that way. Still eating a good amount of food. Still having muscle fullness. Still being able to sustain and still being able to, most importantly, maintain muscle tissue. Now, as a side note, I'm not saying go and eat fucking Pop-Tarts and other bullshit. I'm not. I'm saying stick to single ingredients as much as you possibly can. I can tell you my diet off the top of my hands because it's 7 ingredients. Disclaimer, I am having jam. In the jam, it is not just one ingredient. I'm aware of that. Could probably swap jam for a banana. That's me going the next step up. So I'm eating, and again, people that love the steak and eggs shit on carbs. I'm the opposite. I love the steak and eggs, and I fucking love and rave about the carbs. I'm all for the carbs. I'm team carbs, boys, although I do still bat for steak and eggs in the morning as well. So I'll be having five eggs, 250 beef, 100 grams of oats, 150 berries, 40 grams of jam. That 150 berries, 40 grams of jam and the oats, I'll have twice per day. Once in the morning, once with pre-workout, with 4 dates. I'll have a chicken and rice meal, 250 raw weight, which is a fair amount of chicken, and 100 grams of rice dry weight. And another 100 grams of rice dry weight with the steak and the rice meal. And then in the evening, 5 more eggs as well. So plenty of protein, plenty of carbs, and we're good to go. I'm running with 3,100 calories, just come out the back end of a cutting phase, and we're back up like a good amount of weight as well. So that's what I'm eating personally. So what I'm saying is, when you're eating your carb targets, try not to eat things that are like heavily processed. The most processed thing I sound like I'm eating there is probably the jam. Could go one better and swap it out. It's just a bit of jam. I'm not going to get too out of bed about it. I'm trying to screw the nut, but I'm not too like nerdy about the thing. Just don't if you want carbs, stick to rice, stick to oats. Their potato wouldn't be a bad one, actually. It's literally just grown in the ground. And then your fruit is fine, personally. I believe fruit to be fine. In terms of higher GI carbohydrates, obviously you've got your lower GI, which is like the more fibrous ones, the ones that take longer to digest, and then the higher GI as well. So that's what carbs I'd be having. Don't be having processed sugary shit. Don't be having cereals. Don't be having Pop-Tarts. Don't be having any of that sort of stuff. I've tried it, and this is speaking from experience. I've tried it. It rips my skin to bits, and it yellows your teeth up. And heaven forbid what it does to your insides, because it's not real food, remember? Like, Cocoa Pops is not real food. Well, there's probably some real food somewhere inside of it, but most of it's processed. And I think that's where people give carbs a bad rap, because they just look at anything to do with sugar and sweetness and they're like, it's carbs, bad for you. And they're not wrong when they say that. But if you're just eating oats and rice and fruit, I don't really think you're going to go too far wrong with that. And you're going to get a lot of benefit and a lot of muscle from training with carbohydrates. So that is why I use carbohydrates for my members within the Gorilla Platoon. If you want to join the Gorilla Platoon, there'll be a link in the description. You can book a call. We can take it from there. Apart from that, if you found the video useful or insightful, subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow.